What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already found us, we're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, William Fratelli Cooking and Guns channel, where we post one cooking video a week, at least one cooking video throughout the week. And then on Sundays, we have something called Sunday-Gunday. We've been doing it for a few months now, where we post 2A, Second Amendment content, gun reviews, safety equipment reviews, and other useful content, some guidance for people maneuvering in uncertain times that we're living in. Once again, we've done about 11 episodes of this so far. We've mixed it up between gun reviews and safety tips and other good content, good guidance. Once again, this is guidance. It's not legal advice. We're not experts. So today's video, it's not going to be such a long video. It's going to be a gun review like we promised yesterday. Have right here to my right, I have a firearm for YouTube. This is a Glock 23. It's a 40 caliber Glock. All right, we're gonna do a quick safety check for YouTube. The magazine is loaded for YouTube. Got some 40 caliber ammo right here. Set it aside. All right, we're racking the slide back. The mag is empty for YouTube, for the safety officers. The chamber is empty. Go ahead and dry fire for YouTube. All right, the weapon is safe. Glock 23, chambered in 40 cal, 40 Smith & Wesson. We're operating in a safe and controlled environment for YouTube. We're gonna set this weapon aside so we can do our disclosure as usual, like we usually say. This channel is for educational purposes only. We preach lawful self-defense. We're by no means gun fanatics. We are simply just trying to give you guys some guidance. We're not offering any legal advice. This is only opinion, guidance. We're voicing our opinions, and we're not claiming to be firearms experts. All right, we're getting all that out of the way. We just want you to be able to maintain your weapons responsibly, and reasons that you should be armed and what you should or should not do. Quick message to the trolls. We usually say on the channel, we get trolls on every video. Sometimes we get trolls that are not saying anything offensive or whatever, but sometimes we get people that want to act like a troll, or we get trolls that come out of nowhere. We're just gonna block you as usual. We blocked a few already. Easy and simple. We're not gonna tolerate it. All right. We're coming from 16 years of law enforcement experience. Myself, I've been an armed security guard in the state of Florida since 2010. Armed security guard since I was 19, and I've been a police officer in the state of Florida now since January of 2014. I've also worked for the Department of Homeland Security, the federal government. I've worked for private security contractors like Blackwater and Whack and Hunt. That's where I started. I'm currently full-time in law enforcement now, and we're gonna give our shout outs now. 3 channels that we collaborate with on YouTube: Gun Freak Nation, Trey 57 Production, and the Alert Zone TV. These are 3 channels that are on YouTube. They post similar content like us, gun reviews and all kinds of other fruitful content that you guys should find you know, similar to our channel. Maybe you subscribe to their channel. We'll do the shout outs towards the end. That way you guys check out their channels. They're really good, like us. They have all kinds of content. All right, so now getting back to the firearm. Glock 23. Once again, the weapon is safe. Weapon is safe. We're operating in a safe and controlled environment for YouTube. This weapon is a 40 caliber. So we're talking 40 caliber, a little bit snappier and a little bit stronger than the 9mm round. This is my department issued 40 caliber Glock. This is issued to me when I started. This is our department issues 40. I think they issue 9mm now. They switched to 9. This is a compact weapon. So this is not the full size, but this is not the subcompact. So this is not the small size. This is not the full. This is not the small. This is the medium. This is something called compact. The full size version of this weapon would be the model 22, Glock 22, chambered in 40, Smith & Wesson 40 cal. That would be the big brother to this one. Big brother to this firearm would be the Glock 22. And then you have the Glock 27, which would be the small brother, the subcompact version. This happens to be compact. Our department purchases the compact for all the deputies that work in my department. This is our official sidearm Glock 23. This firearm is a decent size. I mean, like I told you guys in the past, I have medium to large hands. You know, I don't have small hands, but I don't have huge hands. Medium to large, so a little bit larger than average. The weapon fits very well in my hand. It's not that heavy. This weapon weighs about 21 ounces and change empty. It weighs close to 29.3, I believe, 29 and change, almost 30 ounces fully loaded. So that's the weight to this weapon. Very nice weapon. The capacity on this weapon is 13. So you have 13 rounds in the magazine, and you could top one off up top right here. If you want to top one off, you can have a max of 14 rounds of 40 cal. Very, very potent. This is snappy. You know, this is not a 9. This kicks. I've spoken to people that have 45s, and their 45s kick less than this because of the weight. The 45 tends to be a heavier round when you're talking about firepower and the weight of the weapon. You know, they have to make the 45 a little bit thicker, similar to the Glock 10 millimeter, like the one I showed you guys. I have a Glock 29, which is a subcompact. You have some of these Glocks. The 29 is similar to a 45, is a thicker frame, heavier weapon. So this right here is this is more comparable to the 9mm version. You could literally buy this same weapon in 9mm and use the same holster, whatever holster, duty holster, concealed carry holster. It's the same dimensions as the 9mm version. So you have this. This is a striker fired firearm. This is not a hammer fired like the Beretta. This has an internal mechanism, striker. Very nice weapon. Caliber we went over. The caliber is 40 Smith & Wesson. Model, this is model 23, Glock 23. You have your model number, like we've said in the past when it comes to Glocks. You have your model number, which this happens to be the 23, and then you have your caliber, which this is a 40 Smith & Wesson. All right, and I have several holsters for this weapon. I have obviously the duty holster. When I'm on duty, I carry. It's a level 3 holster, so it exceeds the standards of a level 2 holster. So you have to do 3. You have to make 3 steps in order to remove this weapon from the holster. So I carry it in a very safe holster for work. We went over the recoil on this weapon. The recoil is a little bit, it's a little snappy. I like it. I don't have any problem with it, but some people just don't like it. I qualify with this weapon once a year. You know, and I have no issues qualifying with this weapon. I can hit the target from 15 yards, 20 yards, up front, close. I mean, no issues. One-handed, two-handed, whatever the case is. I have no issues with this weapon. I'm comfortable with it. As far as the weapon's materials, you have polymer here on the bottom. This is polymer. It's like a plastic. It looks like a plastic, but it's polymer. You have your sights on this weapon. I'm going to show you guys the sights. These sights are night sights on the rear and the front. You have an orange tip on the front, and then you have the rear sights that they don't illuminate unless it's dark. These sights were updated by department in 2015, I believe. No, I think it was 2000. Yeah, it was 2015, I believe, where they updated the sights because we had a shooting. One of our deputies was shot at. So I don't know if the reasoning behind it, but those sights were changed. It was a shooting that happened at night. The deputy survived because he was wearing his vest, and they went ahead and they put these awesome sights on this weapon. These sights are amazing. They're huge, very visible during the day. You got your orange front sight. It's a big sight, and then your rear sights, very big sights, iron sights, and they're night sights. So it's a very good update that they made to this weapon. The slide, the top part of this weapon, the slide is made out of a metal called tenifer. I've never heard of that personally, but I looked it up. It's called tenifer. So that's interesting. Wasn't aware of that. Um, so you have your tenefer. The width of this weapon is 1.26, so a little bit under an inch and a half wide when we're talking about from here to left to the right. And then you have your the barrel length, the internal barrel, 4 inches, 4.2. But the overall length of the entire weapon is 7.36. So 7.36, 7 inches and change this way. You got 5 and change this way, height-wise. Still a very nice weapon. This is good for concealed carry. If you're looking to carry a weapon that has you know, a lot of ammo, you know, you don't want to carry something that only has 5 or 6 rounds, 7 rounds. This is perfect right here. You're talking about 13 rounds of 40 cal Smith & Wesson, and then you got another one up here. You could top it off at 14 rounds. This weapon is very flat. It's very comfortable. You know, it's obviously weighs more than your subcompacts and these micro 9mm that they're coming out with, but it holds up. This is at almost a handful of gun, if you want to call it. This is almost a full-size gun. I'd recommend this for people that are looking for concealed carry or you're working security. This is a very excellent weapon to work with. So we went over all the specs when it comes to this weapon, and we're gonna go ahead and set this weapon to the side for a second. We talk a lot about you know, choosing a weapon that you're comfortable with. Some people are comfortable with a weapon like that, some people are not. Me personally, I don't carry something that heavy when I'm off. I like to be comfortable. I like to wear shorts. So I'm comfortable with a J-frame revolver. I showed you guys in the past that I carry. J-frame revolver, very lightweight, but it's gonna kick more. So you gotta take all that into consideration. If you want a weapon that's gonna be more stable, you're better off with something like what we just showed you here. And but it all depends on you, your circumstances. If you dress up, you know, you dress up, you wear your jeans, you wear a belt, all that stuff is gonna make a difference because you're gonna be able to carry more on you. You know, you're gonna be more comfortable. So it's really up to you as far as whether or not you're gonna carry a full-size pistol like this. You have more ammo, so it's a good thing, you know, just in case you get yourself into a situation where you need the ammo. You don't have time to reload like in the movies. That kind of thing doesn't happen. You know, if you get yourself into a situation where you have to use the weapon, your adrenaline's gonna be rushing. You're gonna be shaking. You're not gonna have time to sit there and reload like they do in Hollywood. So that's the reason for something like this. If you're gonna use it for work, or if you're gonna use something like this for concealed carry, very excellent option. I didn't mention before I forget, the trigger pull on this, the standard trigger pull that it comes with from the factory is 5.5, so 5.5 pound trigger pull. Once again, for YouTube, magazine's empty, nothing in the chamber. We're gonna dry fire it. All right, that's 5 pound trigger pull right there. So that's pretty, it feels like a five, at least 5 to me. So you have that. We went over all that, the material. And something like this on the market right now, I mean, prices are going up. We're seeing a lot going on with the economy right now and the inflation, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot of uncertainty, especially in the economy. Things are getting more expensive. I mean, the price of gold just went up. It went up. It was like 20 something an ounce. Now you're talking, I don't know if it's ounces or however they weigh it or whatever, but now it's about 3,200. The price has gone up, just like everything. You go to the grocery store, everything's crazy. Everything's going up. It's insane. Something like this would have cost you $450 a couple of years ago. We're talking about maybe 6-7 years ago. $450, and that's without any discounts. So that's without a police discount. That's without a law enforcement discount. You can get certain discounts if you're employed in law enforcement or security. You show your licenses or you show your credentials, and you can get those discounts. Without the discount, this is about almost $600 now for this weapon. It was about $450 years ago, a few years ago, $450 before taxes, obviously, and all that. You're talking about $599 now, and that's without any discount, and that's without the taxes. That's without any transfer fee from a dealer that's gonna receive the weapon, a federal firearms license, FFL. You know, you have to have one of those in order to get the exchange and get the weapon, you know, transferred into your hands. You have to pay them a fee. Usually it's $30 to $50 for that fee. And then you have taxes you have to pay. You have shipping that might not be included. Insurance to insure the weapon when it's being shipped. So you have all these things. So things are getting pretty expensive. So if you're gonna purchase something, make sure it's something that you're good with, comfortable with. Me personally, my sister, she's a security supervisor in Fort Lauderdale. She has the 9mm version of this gun for work. She carries that. She has several other weapons now that she carries when she's off duty, but for work she has this exact same model, just 9mm. So it just depends on what you're comfortable with. I like this weapon again, very nice choice. So yeah, that's the review of the Glock 23 chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson 40 cal. Set the weapon aside. Once again, we're gonna do our shout outs to the 3 channels, the Second Amendment channels that we work with that post a lot of good content. If you guys could subscribe to their channel, they'd really appreciate it. We have Gun Freak Nation up in Detroit with Uncle Terry. We have Trey 57 Production with Ramon up in Pennsylvania. And then finally we have the Alert Zone TV with Uncle James in Ohio. All right, 3 good channels. Please subscribe to them. And as we usually say, thank you for tuning in to our gun review. We're going to try to post some more content next week, some cooking content and some more gun reviews. We have a few pistols left that we can review. Smaller pistols like 380. I believe it's the Ruger. We have one or two weapons left. We're going to probably do the next gun review in about a week or two. Will be the Ruger LCP chambered in 380. And then we'll post some guidance videos as usual. Maneuvering in uncertain times. We'll probably post another one as it relates to accessing the ATM after hours or something like that. We'll come up with some content for you guys, but thanks for tuning in again, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.